your favorite program, The Voice, here with us at Gaza Media. My name is Gillette Atemken, your host. And today we will be taking a look at some of the activities of Lekudo USA, especially as they have been having, background talks. They just held their pre-convention last Sunday in preparation of their actual convention that is coming up on the 26th of July, 2025. We will equally be taking a look at several activities that are going on within the Leban community, including the summer activities both at home and abroad. So joining me from the other side of the studio will be my collaborator, Dr. Ernest Kumba. Dr. Ernest, you're welcome to the studio.
Gila, thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you so much, Director. I'd like us to start with, first of all, summer activities in Leban, precisely in Menji. Yeah, you released one of our reporters to Menji to follow up some of these summer activities. What are you getting as feedback? Is she really getting it very easy? It is our plan to set up a studio in Menji precisely to be carrying out some of this reporting. So, what have you gotten as a feedback from her?
No, Gila, actually, it's a summer program that we design for the entire BLM, even though it seems that just that we are focused, the head, Minji is because Minji is the headquarter for the BLM. So it's not only intended to carry on or report on activity of the bank, but also the entire the BLM as a community, so that if there are opportunity, it will have resources. If there's an event going on in a Salta, she can go there. There are summer activities also going on, or rather, take-them holiday school activities going on there. They will have resources. She will be able to go there. If not, even in the war, of course, she was there. I think last Saturday for the funeral of late Mrs. Seraphine Sophie. That was just released the news now because of the poor network uh, that we are having, as you know. For the past couple of days, we have not had network in Menji metro area, but there are network in other villages. So those are some of the challenges that we're having with issue of connectivities. But I think so far she has been doing well. She's still a student reporter. She just passed to her second year mass communication and journalism at the University of Boya, and trying to give her a little bit of training. Initially, we intend to. The program was launched for two candidates, but we all got one. And one of the reasons too was that we'll send out letters of appeal. We'll have very little response from community members to support this program. We're a grassroots, a non-profit organization, not a mainstream, not sponsored by the government or by corporation or anything of that sort. It's just basically few community donating, supporting us. So I think so far she has been able to generate the news, as you have seen some of the happening around Menji town, that we were able to witness. The Thanksgiving Mass, uh, the death of one student that injected poison, a chemical meant for maybe insecticide or for killing mouse at home for some reason. I just want to recommend people that any chemical, any substance, be it a medication or whatever that you put in the bottle, must be labeled and it should be stored in a proper location. If those are chemicals meant for maybe spraying grass or farm products, they should be kept separately or away from kids and should educate the children not to touch them as such. Like every medication that you take at home, it could become a poison if you inject too much. So they must carry label. Drinks, anything on any bottle should have a label of what product is in there.
Okay, thank you so much, Director. So, from my own end, I do think that we are in a good footing. When you just ask people to donate, they don't, when they have not yet seen, something that you are producing or something that you are reporting on, they will not really see the need. I think that as you have released a reporter to go on ground for the very first time, you are able to sleep, you wake up in the morning and you know what is happening within the Leban community. I think that those Leban people, especially
Gide,
at home and those abroad.
not just the bank community, it's Liberian community. We've been to the war. The
The
war is not
Lebialem
about
community. Sorry
yes.
about I'm sorry about that. The whole of Lebialem community. I mean, for the first time that you go to bed in the night and you wake up in the morning and you get news coming from your own hometown. I think it is really an initiative that needs to be applauded. I think that maybe by the time you were asking for donation, people didn't really see the need. But now our reporter that is on the ground, she brings out little stories. Today you hear that somebody fell from the bridge because the bridge is poorly constructed. I think that is passing a key message out there so that the powers that be can come in to see how they can lighten the situation. You see here that somebody has taken poisonous substance. Right now you have given a very good advice to, I mean, all parents or guidance of children at home. So I think that with what people have seen or our audience have seen so far, all the news that we're reporting from the LibiLM community, I think it will give them more reason to be able to donate. So thank you so much. Let's move a little bit further to talk about this sovereignty fund. You had the opportunity to meet, I think that was the president of Lekudo Europe, and in your discussion, you people were talking about Leban sons and daughters coming together to raise sovereignty funds, whereby these funds can be, I mean, kept in these local financial institutions to raise, I mean, profits or dividends, and maybe 50% of it will be used to support Lebank projects, while 50% of the benefit goes to the investor. Can you throw more light on this, please? Do you first of all, let me first of all ask you, do you think that this idea is realistic? Is it a realistic one?
Yes, I think it's realistic. Just that no, I think it is because I mean the formula is very simple. Just even though mathematical formula uh, equation, you put out a question, it produce you a solution, but the practicality is what is still to be seen. How to rally people, how to rally 1,000 people, because the target is to have a minimum amount of 1 billion. Each person contributing 1 million francs CFA. If 1,000 people contribute 1 million francs CFA, they will have 1 billion. So if that money is invested in long term, say about 5 years or more in the bank, within that time they can put it maybe at the low risk, say 5% or 10% or 4% of that dividend. I've reached out to the general manager of Menji Credit Union, which is one of the bank that they may want to use, or one of the credit union that they may want to use. Yeah, he mentioned to me, I will even be inviting him to come to the program, maybe explain to people exactly how this kind of mechanism work. It's basically you investing money into the bank. The bank uses that money to run other business, borrow them out for loan, then get interest. Then at the end, they pay you what you're referring to, like your dividend or what you get from your share. So that money then will then be used now to give to to the shareholders, which in this case, Dr. Fosengong, uh, I don't think he's the president, but he's just a community person that he like to bring people together. Uh, the concept is that the the dividend, what they receive from the bank, will be split into two, or whatever percentage they will decide. But a chunk of it should be able to go to the bank development. But what I wanted to say is that when I reached out to the general manager of Credit Union, yeah, he said yes. If you have that kind of money, 1 billion that you save for minimum of 5 years, where you don't need to touch that capital, you can actually have a dividend of 5%, which means that in a year you will have about 50 million from 1 billion that you save. That seems a little bit reasonable amount. That if you take that money and then divide it by two, then give 25 or 50% or 25 million to those that actually invested their own 1,000 or 1 million, then 25 million will go to the development of the bank. So that's something that I think is achievable, the way I look at it. Yeah.
Okay, no, I think on my own part, I think it's also a very good idea. It's a brilliant one. I was just about, you have already answered my question because I was just like, could these people that came up with this idea, have they like kind of done feasibility studies to see like how much this money, if they invest in the bank, how much it could be able to bring out in terms of dividend? But you already said it all out. But yeah, looking at what it can generate, I think it is a good one. That is the way we can raise funds, I mean, in a more sustainable way, so it can maybe reduce some of these so much of fundraising every day, day in, day out. I think that it is a very good one, and it's also going to boost all these financial institutions as well. So,
So exactly.
talking about
No,
yes,
exactly, and that's one other. I think that's also one thing. Like if you raise that kind of money and go and put it, say in Magic Trading Union, I think that like kind of, maybe he mentioned about three of those kind of trading union. You have one is Funga, I think it's meant from Funga money, and something like that. There's another one, and then there's another one that he mentioned. If you invest in money, that means money goes into those banks, then still the people from the BLM community are still able to borrow that money, maybe build houses, maybe buy their vehicle, invest in their businesses, give it now, you take it as a loan with higher interest. Then the bank now pays people that give. That's why it said long-term saving. I think that's why the manager was writing to me that at least it should be 5 years. It's not something that you invest in 1 billion, then after 2 years you want to take out your money because they've already given out this money for people to do businesses. So it's an issue. But I think from what uh Chief Fosengong is explaining is that you put in this money, you seem to forget about it. That is some investment that you have made, maybe even from your generation that you can pass on to your successor. So it's not something that you put in today, come next week and say, I need my money back.
okay, yeah, Dr. Ns, as I was following up the way you were explaining, I was just like trying to brainstorm on how we can come in as a media to boost this initiative. I was thinking that we should give the initiator of this idea an airtime to sell his idea through our media organ. You know, you might have a very brilliant idea, and if you are not able to sell it out, people need to know, I mean, the benefits of putting this money together, I mean, to themselves and as well to the community. I think that if we give him some airtime to come here and really expatiate on it to the benefit of the entire LeBLM community, I think is going to go a long way to help that community. What do you think?
No, I mean, if they reach out to us, we'll provide them a platform to have a sort of a panel discussion, or if they want to host maybe a webinar where people can come in and ask them questions, they should be able to do it. Like I said, I already reached out to the manager so that he can come and explain to us. Some people are organizing, they are doing this. What would it take? That's just our own part of investigation to know exactly if this money is given to the bank, will it give a dividend or the kind of return that the guy was explaining. I think, yeah, I think they are still at the elementary stage of what they are doing. I think UK, that the idea was conceived over there. They have started investing a little bit, maybe in the UK, in the Kudu UK, putting money together. But I think they need to do a lot of sensitization, explain to the population what exactly it is their money is safe. I mean, any money that is safe in bank comes with some risks. You may lose some of it. You may project that by the end of the year you may have 50 million. It may not be 50 million. People need to understand this. So you shouldn't say, oh, at the end you will have 50 million. Then at the end of the year, only 30 million come out. Then people start thinking that you have stolen some money or you have embedded part of money. There's a lot of education. I'm not a financial expert, but I think they need to invite people to have those kind of debate.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, financial experts are always good in this kind of cases. So let's dive into the activities or the projects of Lekudo USA. You know, there is this
Uh, think you're having network connectivity issue. Yeah, I think you have network issue. I think, yeah, Gillette, yeah, she just lost the network issue there. I think the next thing was to, okay, she's back in, yes.
Ah, so I'm sorry about the poor connection. I said let's talk about the activities of Lekudo USA, and they just held their pre-convention last Sunday
Yeah, again, the network is not the best today. So,
on the actual convention that is coming up on the 26th of July. So you were privileged to take part, though not fully, partially. What do they have in stock this year, Director?
yeah, I say if I want to give my appraisal for the listen, yeah, I think it's something that CEO Emirato started last year because the Kudu USA seem to have a lot of project, lot of presentation, different committees that the one day convention that used to be on Saturday was not even enough, even though they've even extended it to Friday, where all the traditional dances and most of the some of the presentation are done on Friday. It wasn't even still enough that they have to sort to have this kind of pre-convention where they can give people an idea or a kind of give some of the report that the activities that they are carrying on throughout the year, which was a good thing to reduce the congestion of the activities so that when you're going to a convention, you already kind of pre-understand or pre-inform of what is happening before, rather than just going to convention blank to go. Of course, with the advent of the media and social media today, there's a lot of reporting going on. There's so many activities going on, but I think the attendance, in my opinion, was a little bit poor. About 50 to 55 people after so many young people in the US. It's something that was heavily advertised in different fora, then even with the announcement that was sent out. And the road project, which was one of the major item on the agenda that embodied all the bank people across the globe, the attendance was still very poor. Uh, then I begin to wonder, what are the bank people really thinking? Or is something of this important? If you've invested money to this level and they call a town hall meeting to come and listen, get first-hand information, please create the time, crimp the 1 hour, 2 hours, and get this information. Yeah, the media, we will report, but we'll give you already the snapshot of what is happening. But the managers of the project, they have their detailed finances, how much they are spent, what are their challenges, what they are doing, and stuff like that. But if I were to pick anything out from there, I think Professor Kemji presented on education, where elaborate how the crisis has affected education in the BLM, particularly Leban, since we're talking about the Kudu and how they started with the first school, Abele Enge, then progressively to many other with community school, then progressively to other village school, including Sidozam, and to where we are today. Uh, I think he was able to really explain how the bank people have been very committed with some of the scholarship that they were also able to give out, even to those that were displayed and were going to school in the western region, like in Chang and maybe Bafusam or around those area. Then I think there were other presentation too. Uh, that follows suit, especially on the road project. The road project is something that we have been very keen and very focused on. I think the takeaway message on the road project was that the bulldozers are working. That we have reported, we've seen the images. Uh, Even our own reporter, I mean, yeah, not that I'm doubting what the managers are saying, but our own reporter, when they sent us images, uh, down after Menji, going down Takwe, they're opening new roads, new market. down there, which is a wonderful thing. Uh, but I think what Dr. Joe Fortuna emphasized was that the need for community to support with manual labor like carrying of stone, that they will even be sometimes compensated for to build culverts because there are some small spring water that crosses the road. Yeah, if you don't build the culvert and channel those water, no matter how much you repair the road, uh, it will be impossible if those places hotspot are not taken care of. Then one other thing is I was talking about the number. People really need to understand the level of work in order to contribute money so that they should continue to fuel this machine, pay those operator, those that are actually in the field working, so that they can continue to do those work that they are doing. I think they need that number so that when somebody is contributing $100, they know that okay, truly there's serious work going on.
Exactly. You have spoken already a lot on education on the road project. Yeah, from my part, I really think that these schools that have been open, they have opened their doors so far. You talked of Belenge to other educational institutions that have also opened their doors to receive students or pupils. I think it has really contributed to the current state of, especially Lebang, as I listened to your discussion with Dr. Foju the other day. It was like Lebang is cut and left behind, and they are paying more attention to other parts of the BLM because they think in their mind that maybe they call it a red zone in quote because they think that going down there they are not secured also. But I think that with the opening of these schools, it has really helped to boost the current state of Le BLM or Leban. And it's just to encourage that many more open their doors. And what I want to find out from you, Director, is that all of these are community schools. What about the government schools? What do you think should be done by the government schools? We have ex-students out there. What are they doing? So you listened to Dr. Foju the other day was like, we need to take, I mean, the locals need to put in some action to revive the community. What do you think?
Yes, I think even when I think my problem is when they say government school, who is actually the government, the basic service that they do, like I don't know how to call it now. It's kind of the government they say is you and me. The community makes up the government. So I think it's a kind of very difficult situation, but I think the community too need to sit down and say we cannot allow our children to be staying home. Uh, LBLM is a very big community. GHS Fontaine used to house, I mean, thousands of students. I mean, the next secondary school or the first secondary school was Siloam, then followed by that one. mm, I mean, Siloam could not accommodate all the all the students. The parents were not able to pay the kind of school fees that is being paid to Siloam, even up to now. So there must be an alternative. I mean, GHS Fontaine has to function. Regardless, if we really want the place to open, we have to give an opportunity for a child, to a parent to be able to spend maybe 10,000, 20,000, and send a child to school and not just saying, oh, we still them that is 400,000. How many parents at home now will be able to afford 400,000? Last year, the
Exactly.
student or the ex student and the Kudu, the mobilized fund, they make up the difference. Parents were paying maybe, I don't know, maybe 20,000. The scholarship were the 300 and something plus. I don't know the exact figure, but the scholarship were a huge jump that the parents were paying maybe just about 80,000. I don't know the exact amount. But how many parents can continue to afford within this crisis or within this recovering time until places become very stable? Then when people can begin to pay. But the local farmers will be challenging. So government school has to be, should not even be an alternative, should be the main school, the state sponsored school. We need teachers to come back there and grammar school. GHS Fontaine has been functioning in Minji. The hope is it should go back to its side. and operate. Yeah, so that they can send each other. People can go to school. Children should be able to go to school. A father or a parent should be able to sponsor the child within the small amount of money that they are able to afford. You go to Boya, there are school going on Lycée Moriko, there are Jewish Bokwango, there are school there. There's school in Munya, JSS Munya. Yeah, it's not, I mean, Le Banglet, they are saying we should not kill our own. If
Exactly.
tomorrow, if
So
tomorrow,
that
the
is
one, if tomorrow, if talking about education, if tomorrow the one to stand somewhere and say they need people to fill in position, if you didn't go to school, there's no way they will take you. We are actually looking for people to
exactly.
recruit for Gaza media, but we want people that are trained, we want people that have gone to school, that they can write, that they can read and write, that they can speak publicly. So, but it is education that will push it to that level. But it will say no school, then that should not be accepted by anyone at all.
Exactly. You have just said it all, Director, because indeed, education is a basic right of every child. And anybody who stands in the way of education, it means you are really against development, if I can put it that way. Yeah. Whoever, we can only do our own little by passing out the information to whoever is against opening of schools, especially in our own area. You have just mentioned a whole lot of communities that government schools are open there and children are benefiting from education. So why not us? If we now stand against our own, then we are shooting ourselves on the foot. So, and that cannot continue to happen. So we as a media organ, we are neutral. We are not in support of any side. We are just telling the truth out there. Whoever is against education, no, we say no to that because education is the gateway to everything. We are here today because of education. If not of education, you and I will not sit here and be talking, and people are watching us and benefiting from us. So thank you so much. Let's leave education and now talk about the road project that you talked about. Yes, the road committee project has been working for a few months now, and at least you have seen the work that they have done so far. With what they have done, is it really meeting the needs of the people? Whatever project that you carry out and it doesn't meet the need of the people, then there is a question mark. In your own opinion, what do you think? Our reporter has been there on the ground and she's doing a marvelous job covering all of this and showing it to the entire public. In your own opinion, what do you think?
I think what I really wanted to see was to have the access road from the Menua through Ngundeng down to Azi in Chowing High. That would be another alternative route other than the Arrow 19 highway, the one that leaves Chang Patro from Gutungong Alo, coming down Belua and this other side. But I think the issue of the insecurity from Bindia going up to Aturia is where the problem is that we're not able to complete the grading of that portion of the road. So that is a lot hindrance because if you construct the road, you want the road to link from one city to another. If you are constructing a road, if you construct a road, then it goes to a dead end unless it's going to some factory to pull out goods. It must be interconnected with other link, like become a ring, a closed loop. If you are not able to do that, then it's still short of what it was supposed to be. So I think
Exactly.
the insecurity over there has hindered the progress of that what was envisioned. I think there has been a lot of debate there, like if you construct the road all the way halfway, vehicles were supposed to be tying this road so that they also uh, put pressure or concrete or whatever on the ground, make it become a little bit compact because when the bulldozer pass there, the soil, you're losing the soil, losing the texture. When vehicle now are applying the road, then they seem to compress it so that water can go, because these are air road, so that it become more solid, uh, that it doesn't get bad earlier. But now, if you are not using that road the way it was supposed to be used, therefore means that part of the work that has done may seem not being to its high potential or to its full potential the way that they wanted it to be. But on the flip side of it, the other portion of the road from Menji going down to Takwe, towards Ngangale and the rest of those other villages down there, down that way is the economic zone of Lebanon, even of the economic zone of Fontaine subdivision, if you will, because it extends all the way to Njogwi, even along that bed. So opening the road to that side is a good thing, so that product can easily come out from there to Menji town. So that is, I think, the mapping and the calculation was well thought out by the engineer, by the management of the road infrastructure network, or the road infrastructure committee, because I think they also explain the difference in the climate over here towards the northern, or towards the Bamileke, where it is cold, the soil is a little bit wet. Down there is towards Manfe direction. So down there is hotter. So they have different in season.
Okay, thank you so much, Director. In short, you have just spoken my mind, because until the people, the locals, start benefiting from this road project, that is when you can really measure the level of success. Because if it's still like halfway, it's not connecting from one town to the other, you can't really say for sure that they have started benefiting. But well, it's just a matter of time. With time, that is going to come to reality. Yeah, still talking about road. Director, the other day in your discussion with Dr. Forju, the parliamentarian, something was mentioned on a particular stretch of road that the state is intending to sponsor to the tune of 1 billion. Can you just throw more light on this?
You know, yeah, when I mean, people will come and say they will give figures. Um, the current road, there was some work going on there. From what the parliamentarian mentioned before the recent discussion with him, was that there's some road going on there. Yesterday, I think he was saying that that was a budget of about 250 million. Uh, Initially, I think before he came for the LEGDA convention in the US, that road was work going on. I saw some images. I think even one of the hotspot at Fondem, one of the biggest road on that road, that there's currently work going on there. According to him, uh, the government or the minister have added some money. I've seen some document, but it doesn't say how much. They just say yes, they would increase the budget of that work. He knows the figure. I don't have any documentary of the figure of how much money is coming in. If that money is coming in, if that money comes in, good. But the problem is, would they use it deliciously? So I think it's not always the
Exactly.
issue of money coming in, but when that money come in, where does it actually go to? Because year of, I mean, we've covered a lot of contract. 1 million this, 30 million this amount, you hear very huge sum of money, but little is actually done on the ground. I think that has been the nightmare of many, that we really need some serious people to come and do some work. But something like the N19 or the R19 road may not be limited to the very local, maybe kind of international contractors from different places. But I think it will also have our own people that can meet the requirement of being a good contractor, pay your taxes, your document is complete, having a track record, your bank account or your credit record, that you can be a completer for some of this contract, and this contract is awarded to you to do the work, do it properly. But if you give contract to the local people, I mean, the small contract, I will call them small contract compared to those one that passes through the council. has not been effective. Very few of them, to say the least. Very few of those contractors have actually done the work to an extent. But even though on paper we see 80%, 90%, then you turn around, you look at this thing, you are not seeing it. So it really be troublesome.
Exactly. Director, let me not cut you short. Talking about doing effective work, I followed your discussion with Dr. Foju on air, and I saw how you made mention of some contractor who did a very good and excellent job, comparing to another contractor that took his own, and instead of buying rod something, he went and bought a particular kind of rod that is substandard, and you were like trying to bring him to understand that some of these people, they are not really serious with their work. They are not really committed. They don't have the community at heart, because somebody, you know that this work will need this particular kind of rod, and you go and get something that is substandard. And he was like, insecurity. I wasn't really
No,
convinced with his response to it, saying that insecurity, at least we should try to call a spade a spade. When somebody has done something that is not right, there are not two ways to say this thing is right or wrong. It's either right or wrong. If somebody has done something that is not correct, we put it out just like that. We, as a media organ, we are just passing this. We are neutral. We are not contractors. We are not on the other side. We are not on the other side. We are just putting it straight. If you have to take a contract, you must be sure that you will be held accountable to whatever goes wrong when it has to do with that contract. And we should work with our consciences. You can't come from a particular locality and they give you a contract to work in that particular locality. And we are so fond of blaming the state for our current happenings or whatever is happening in our locality. Whereas they give you the opportunity, do this, but what do? You take the money, and because of one reason or the other, maybe you want to use it for personal gain or whatever. It's like we are shooting ourselves on the foot. How can you take your own thing that is your own and then you use your own hands to destroy it? All we are
uh,
saying here is that anybody who takes a contract, make sure you deliver. If you deliver, you don't have any problem with anybody, not with, we are not here to judge anybody, but then what we are saying is very simple. If you are to do something, you say, no, I am not able to do it. Or if you are, because if you say you are not able to do it, some other person will come up and do it right. Instead of standing on the way, oh, I want to do this, and you do it wrongly. So it really did not go down with me with the response of Dr. Fojo saying, "Oh, insecurity." No, when it is a case of insecurity, we blame it on insecurity. When if it is a the problem of an individual contractor, blame it on the contractor and let the message go out straight to the person's ear, and the person should know that what he or she is doing is absolutely not accepted by the community or
yeah, I
anyone
think
else.
sure. I think especially like the one that is going to Njense, the bridge that the local raised money was Njekuda, Njense Culture and Development Association, that they raised money and constructed their bridge with plan locally. It was passable with vehicles. Then the contractor came and demolished it to construct his own, begin to build some kind of embankment and leave it halfway. And that's where the issue of Rock 8 started featuring. People say these are the kind of small rocks
Okay.
that are not meant to be a beach. And I think that's where the question becomes, how does buying the real material from the market has to do with insecurity?
Exactly.
So,
Talking
and
about road,
go ahead.
talking about roads, director, the other day we heard of somebody who fell from the bridge, a poorly constructed bridge. Looking at the state of that bridge, director, do you really think that that bridge should be usable?
No, I think normally in this normal standard, something like that, if we were say in the US, they will put a barrier. They will put some kind of tape for that nobody should even cross that it should not be usable. But I just think just due to the negligence of the place or whoever is responsible, council worker. I'm still to maybe interview the mayor to know exactly what is going on, so that maybe he can really give some information, because people were writing on social media. The council is responsible. The council is responsible. But when I will speak to the mayor, I would like to get his insight of what is happening in Nenji. How can somebody just, how would they allow the other thing I can recall was that at some point the mayor explained that the money was meant for that particular bridge at Befua. The money was diverted to the bridge at Unve when a bulldozer was passing and destroyed that bridge impassable. Because of the importance of that bridge, and then that is kind of on the main road, they deviate that one to that. So what I will need to hear from the mayor will be, has new fund been allocated? Because these are not the big contract, to my understanding, that are coming from Yaoundé that the mayor will supervise. These are just a kind of small micro project that the council will use its own fund to maintain. So that is something that is still to be, we are still to get that information, what actually happened. But I think, in fairness, condolence to the family, that should not have happened, and they should look for ways to remediate the situation. If that is a very good access road, communal road in the city, then a bridge like that should not be left unattended to, and people are using it all the time.
Exactly. So, Director, let's dive into health now. Lekudo USA, after their conventions, they have been able to conduct several health campaigns within the LeBLM community. Now, I don't know what they are planning this year, but looking at what they have done so far with their different health campaign sessions, as a health expert, what can you chip in to make the initiative, maybe what they are planning this year, to be more beneficial or more sustainable to the locals and the community?
It's unfortunate that when they had the pre-convention, uh, I had two meetings. And sometimes I was locking in between two devices to attend another meeting. When Dr. Christella Bebo was presenting, I wasn't privy to listen to her presentation, to know exactly what they are doing ahead. But judging from what they have done in the past, I think Lekuru has done a tremendous job under the leadership of CEO Emeritus Terence Atem, who actually transformed. He used to call humanitarian assistant under the CEO Emeritus of Nkemtongo, Tintinu Charles. Then when Terence came in, he changed it to the head uh, campaign committee, and they have been doing a wonderful job with amazing people. People like Dr. Christelle Mbebo, people like Library International Richard, Dr. Fonken, neurosurgeon, that came in with hearing beyond the horizon. Even people like Tintunu Charles that came in with his own lab in Wanateka lab that and with all of that, with the coordination of Dr. Etienne Aswanyi and Dr. Michel himself, who is in Fontaine, who is Admiral Head of Africa now. I think there have been a lot of work. I mean, these are all experts in the field, that and many other I cannot call their name here, uh, that have put in their wonderful. I just think that the community should continue to support them, raise more fund, and we have many more nurses, many more medical doctors in the US that can also volunteer their own time or resources. Maybe you belong to some non-profit organization, sometime within company or within a company that you work with. Sometimes they have like some kind of charity. They give money to charity or support that you can apply if you work with any of these big chain health organization in the US. They all know what I'm talking about. They can apply for those funds, even if it's just $1,000. They give you. It will still be very helpful uh, to our people. But what I want to say is, then the community too should be able to donate, raise fund. the young people that are here, that they have parents that are benefiting, they should be able to contribute. I will never forget this quote from Dr. Michel when he stood at the palace of Ma Nje and said, witchcraft is when you, this parent, you sit here and your children are in the US and you are here benefiting, but yet they do not support the Kudu. They don't belong to the Kudu. That was touching to say that people will be benefiting, but their children are in the US and those children are not supporting. And that is 100% true. So my appeal, if I
Exactly.
will,
And the, not cutting you short, and the person making this remark is not even from the LBLM
sure,
community. That
sure.
is what makes
No, I mean, yes,
so
and
you
there are
can just
some,
imagine.
yes, can imagine. I mean, I must applaud the Kudu and those individuals that we don't know them that are sponsoring. You see, there are two doctors now. From the other report that we receive, that there are two. There's Dr. Missioner and there's another doctor. Most of those staff are being sponsored, paid by the Kudu USA through the bank sons and daughter who do not want their name to be mentioned. So that is a big gesture because the folklore is not here back to its full capacity, as somebody mentioned. I think that was Eric. So everything is being still sponsored by the Kudu USA.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, what amazes me now in the Lekudo USA plan is that they are carrying the youth along. You know, in their plan of action, they say they want an youth all inclusive in every of their plan of action. You know, there are several youths out there that are in the health sector that could also contribute for the benefit of these locals. And looking at the reaction of the locals, they are really, really happy with this initiative, and it's going a long way to really help them, given the fact that they are from this zone whereby that is affected by the crisis. I mean, all the gunshots and everything traumatized them, and coming to talk to them. I mean, you know, you are a medical personnel, not me. I mean, just counseling alone can really revive somebody to really come back to her own self. Talking to the doctor, getting to hear their story and feel for them. And it's not even so much of medication, it's just counseling when you talk to somebody and you know the person's problem and you try to, I mean, put yourself in his or her own shoe. I think that it is doing a whole lot. From the reaction of the locals, I can really feel that the health campaigns are doing a whole lot. So let's
No,
talk a little bit about the. Okay, yes, sir.
no,
Yes,
no, no,
Director,
no,
go
no.
on.
No, I just wanted to add that yes, it's actually people have even suggesting that why not do the hair campaign year round where volunteer, they take vacation. If you are going on vacation, you plan your vacation at different time interval so that when you go down or when you visit home, you can dedicate maybe 2 days. If you have a 2 weeks vacation in Cameroon, you can dedicate 3 days and go there so that the service should be just be a kind of continuous. But it's something that is hard to coordinate. Like I said, we need volunteers to step up. We need people to step up and donate. All of this to run this program costs a lot of money. So we need donations.
Exactly. Yeah. If you can donate in terms of cash, you can donate in kind. In
Yeah,
terms of
sure.
your own services, it's also
Yeah.
part of donation. Okay, let's talk a little bit about these solar panels. Yeah, in your discussion with Dr. Foju, he also made mention of some solar panel project in the pipeline. Can you just kind of throw a little bit of light
Yeah,
on it?
I don't think no. I think his own was not solar panel. Was just like electricity. I think what he said is that by next year, was it next year that there's some pipeline that they will start uh, putting bringing electricity, and this time it will no longer be those electric product are wood, because those
Mm-hmm.
one yeah, they get affected very quickly by the climatic condition. When rain fall, then it dries up, get eaten by termites and different insects. Then very soon you see the electric pole has fallen. He was saying that what they are trying to do now is to do use it with aluminum, aluminum electric pole or the one that are built with cement, that they can last longer.
Mhm.
Uh, but that is a very giant project for light to come. And I'm not sure if in Douala or in Boya, that in Boya, people stay for a week without light. I don't know what will happen if they tap the high tension to go there. How effective will light? Yeah, if it come, good. But actually, we need electricity for so many things. If Menji, I keep saying Menji because is the divisional capital. If we need Menji to reflect the capital, if we need the BLM to reflect, then we have to have some sort of industry, not mass industry, but that can open employment or some business. Let me not say even say industry, some small kind of factory, maybe sawmill that can open business, that can give room for people to come and work and generate some income. But this cannot go without electricity. The solar panel we use for household, but can they really run heavy machinery? Unless you have to really store a lot of those with high this thing to run heavy machinery, which may be difficult. So we still need this heavy high tension to able to run the sawmill, to able to do manufacturing. I mean, it will produce cassava, carry, we should be able to process it to the finished product and package it. Anything like cocoa, like you should be able to grind it and do it. Think a little bit technologically advanced so that that will serve as employment. Just cutting
Exactly.
something and just planting and just come and selling it on the roadside. That is good, but it's not enough. Nigeria, our neighbors,
Exactly.
yes, they do what we pound the yam, they change it into powder form, put it in bag, seal it, and market it, and sometimes even export it. So we
Wow.
barely, we need electricity to run cold store, to run heavy machinery, to even run this hospital. If you have certain machine in the lab, then there's on and off. Let's say you cannot run, you cannot operate that way. For the past couple of days now, we have not had network in Menji. That's why over the weekend we have not been able to receive report that when the football tournament is going on, there are many other things happening. I think the one match that was played at Azi, another one was played maybe Slotum. Or there are just activities going on that we have not been able to report because there's no network. So these are some of the issues that are affecting us. Maybe there's no network because maybe there's no power on the antenna, or I don't know what is going on. So I cannot speak for that.
Okay, thank you so very much. In fact, we cannot really overemphasize the importance of electricity because with electricity, I mean, it helps to boost the economy in so many ways. Just like the transformation that you have made mention of, the crops that they are being grown in the farms by the locals. I mean, it's very important for them to process them to other forms that can be used by either the locals or why not even sell internationally. So that said, I would like to give you an opportunity as we begin to round up to talk to the public as per these activities that are going on within the LeBLM community. Our reporter is out there. We solicited for donation and very few people reacted. So I want to give you the opportunity, Director, to talk again about this. Maybe after they have seen what is coming out from there, from our homeland, they'll be able to chip in something to support this student reporter out there.
I think our message is very simple. If you donate anything, $5, $10, whatever amount that you donate will go a long way to maybe pay for transport or buy data to with this kind of poor network. You cannot imagine that you'll be sending out a report that is all about 5 minutes. You will spend about 10,000 because you will load data. It will not be able to transmit the information. You can need to do whatever you do. So I'm just appealing that people can go to uh, our main channel. There's a link It's coffee.com/Gaza Media. If you click there, you can pay by your credit card or by your debit card. If you can still say it to us, or you can send us Cash App, Gaza Media TV, as $ Gaza Media TV. It will go direct to our account. I think the Momo in Cameroon, I've forgotten the number. You can donate anonymously if you don't want to be known. If you want, then Ali will send appreciation letter to you. But know that any little token that you give, it goes a long way to actually keep our operation going. So there's a lot that with a lot of resources are needed to run a little bit of what we do. So we do appreciate everyone, even if you are just watching, but we also want to appeal that people should able to share the content, keep the subscriber going up, make it become known to a larger pool. It's a win-win. It's not just for Gaza Media, but it's for any other organization. If you are doing a fundraising, if you are using our services, and we are already known worldwide, it also serves you better. So it is very important that people subscribe, people like the share button, make it grow wide and viral, so that all this discussion, all this activity that we are reporting, they will also go to international scene. So by the time you even see someone say, hey, well, we need medical assistance, do you have some maybe news equipment that you don't longer need and that we may need them? Someone else say, oh, where are you? Oh, I must have come across that report. That is what we're referring to when we say share and the content, click the like button, leave your comment, of course, very important, so that we know exactly how we are doing. Then we can do a follow-up from those comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kumba, for your time. I know you're a very busy person. For you to have squeezed out time from your busy schedule to be here this morning, it's something that really needs to be appreciated. So I appreciate you for your time. I mean, I know our viewers, they have listened to you, and all the information that you have dished out there is going to go a long way to edify the public and, of course, transform the community at large. Thank you so much, especially dear viewers, for tuning in to be a part of the program. Thank you for being there for us. Without you, there can never be an us. We are here because you are there. So please do not go away without subscribing, like, share, and leave us your comment. For presentation, I have been Gillette Atemkeng. For now, is a bye-bye.